Hey guys, what's up? This is my list for the top 10 best series of 2022. I made one earlier in the year. Some of the stuff will still be on here, some of it will be switched around. So yeah, let's get into it. In my number 10 spot, Bad Sisters on Apple TV snuck in there and knocked out whatever was in my 10 spot halfway through the year. This show was surprisingly really good. The performances were great. Sharon Horgan is really great. The only thing I ever saw her in before this was Game Night with Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams, and that was awesome. So I was really interested in this. And it also has Klaus Bang, who was in the Netflix Dracula series, which is like a 3-episode mini movie sort of thing, and that was awesome. And I love that actor. And this show was really interesting. The performances were great. The mystery was great. It actually had a really compelling mystery. The relationship between the sisters was really good. I was interested in like the insurance guy's storyline as well. And yeah, I just thought it was a really surprising show as well. And I'm very happy with the payoff that we got and the resolution to the mystery. It was very surprising. This is not my type of show, but I ended up really enjoying it, and I suggest you check it out too. It's Bad Sisters on Apple TV Plus. It has 10 episodes and it's streaming now. In the number 9 spot is Barry Season 3. I only just watched this entire show this year because I was looking for new things to watch, and I was, I had some time to kill, so I was like, okay, I'll find a new show to watch. Everyone says Barry's good, and I binged all 3 seasons in like 3 days. It was fucking awesome, and this last season was so good. Bill Hader is amazing. He directs like a lot of these episodes, and he does such a great job. Henry Winkler is amazing in this. This season was just really good. Everything was turned up a notch. And yeah, it had left us on a really good cliffhanger. We got a lot more interesting stuff with NoHo Hank. And yeah, so Barry Season 3 was thrilling. It was interesting. It was, emotional. And yeah, it made me really feel bad for Bill Hader's character Barry. And I really appreciated that. And I really love this show. So Barry Season 3 is in my number 9 spot of the top 10 series of 2022. In my number 8 spot is Euphoria Season 2. This is not typically the type of show that I watch, but because Zendaya is in it and because, all these great performances that have been spoken about, I watched Season 1 just before Season 2 came out, so I got to watch Season 2 weekly, and I just found myself getting so... I know it's kind of bad because the show's, deals with heavy topics, but I was getting really excited for every next episode just to see what was going to happen with these characters because I was very invested. The performances are great. The aesthetic of it, the visuals of it looks really good. And yeah, very interested in all these characters, and I'm very excited for Season 3, and Zendaya definitely deserved that Emmy that she got. So that is why Euphoria Season 2 is in my number 8 spot. Coming in at 7th place, we have Our Flag Means Death, another show that I binged this year while I was looking for something to watch. I actually watched this just before I watched Barry, and yeah, it was so pleasantly surprised. It was so good. I love I love Taika Waititi for starters, and I know his last Thor movie wasn't that great, but he's so good, and I was very interested in this because he was in it. And yeah, so this was a very surprising, pirate show. I did not expect to like it as much as I did. It was hilarious. It was very funny. And Steve Bonnet, I can't remember the name of the guy who plays him. He's so great, and I love that actor. I just forget his name, but yeah, it was really good. It had some really good LGBT romance, which was interesting. Those themes. So yeah, that's why Our Flag Means Death is in my number 7th spot for my top 10 series of 2022. Coming into my number 6 spot, we have The Boys Season 3. I love this show. I started watching it when Season 2 was coming out, and this season really turned everything up a notch. All the stuff with Soldier Boy was great. Jensen Ackles was amazing. Anthony Starr, right? Anthony Starr really turned it up a notch this season, and his performance was like bone-chilling. Everyone was great. Carl Urban was great as Billy Butcher. And yeah, the finale was amazing with the big explosion and, Maeve almost dying. That was really cool. All the revelations about stuff with Soldier Boy and Homelander, and we got to see a more interesting look at Homelander and his son, their relationship together, which was really cool. And so yeah, The Boys Season 3 was really, really good. Everything turned up a notch. I'm so excited for Season 4. That's coming out pretty soon. So yeah, that's why The Boys Season 3 is in my number 6 spot for my top 10 series of 2022. In the top 5 now, we have Peacemaker Season 1. Peacemaker is fucking awesome, man. I was so pleasantly surprised by this, which I really shouldn't have been because I love James Gunn so much. And it's just really, really surprised me and really, took me by surprise. I know I just said that. And yeah, John Cena was so good in this. You wouldn't expect this kind of performance from him because he has not done that much stuff that would warrant this kind of performance, but he did such a good job. I was really emotionally invested in Peacemaker. All the side characters were good. So yeah, Harcourt was great. I forgot her name just when I was remembering it. Amanda Waller's daughter was really good. The stuff with his dad was really cool as well. And yeah, so Peacemaker was really good, and it was just really, really good. I don't even know if they're going to continue with Season 2. We'll see how we go. I hope it doesn't get cancelled. I hope they keep John Cena. Vigilante was awesome as well. I forgot about him. He was so great. This show was really, really good. Go check it out. It's on HBO Max right now. All episodes streaming, and we don't know if the show is going to continue, but I hope it does. So go check it out. In 4th place, we have The White Lotus Season 2. I loved the first season of this, so I was naturally very excited for this season, especially with the stacked cast and the addition of Aubrey Plaza, who I love. So yeah, I was very excited for this, and I was so pleasantly surprised. I reviewed every single episode of this show. Go check it out if you have not. But yeah, it was such a pleasant surprise. I love the setting. I think this season was a lot better than the last season, and I loved the last season, so that's a surprise for me. I was so much more interested in all the characters this season. I loved the themes of it. I was so surprised by the death at the end, which I'm not going to spoil, but yeah, I just thought everyone was so great. All the performances were amazing. All the storylines were really, deep and intense and very, very interesting, very well written. And yeah, I just found myself getting so excited every week for the next episode, guessing who's going to die, guessing who's going to live or who killed them or whatever. I was so interested in everybody's individual stories, and yeah, it was really, really good, and I'm so excited for Season 3. I do not know where that's going to take place. I do not know who's going to be in it, but I know it's happening. And yeah, I'm so excited for Season 3. So if you have not seen The White Lotus Season 2 or The White Lotus Season 1, go check it out. They're on HBO and HBO Max, and all episodes are streaming. And if you have not seen my reviews of them, go check them out because they're all uploaded. But yeah, that is why The White Lotus is in my number 4 spot of top 10 series of 2022. In 3rd place, we have Severance. Now, I recently rewatched this, and in my last top 10 series of 2022 that I did halfway through the year, this was my number 1. But after I rewatched some stuff and had a thought about it, and new stuff came out, it was bumped down to number 3. But that does not take anything away from this show. It was so good, such a pleasant surprise. And Apple TV always just churns out really, really good stuff. But yeah, Adam Scott was so good. Ben Stiller, who directed and created this show, does a phenomenal job at sort of conveying all the stuff he needs to convey. I know that sounds ridiculous, but yeah, everyone was so good. The performances were great. The cliffhanger at the end was amazing. Oh my god, I recently rewatched it and I was just taken by it, man. It was so good. Go check it out if you have not. It was so interesting. The concept of it is so interesting, right? And it's got a stacked cast. John Turturro, Christopher Walken, Adam Scott. It is really, really good. If you have not seen Severance on Apple TV, go check it out because it's such a pleasant surprise that Season 2 comes out, I think, late next year or early 2024. So I'm very excited for that. I think they've started writing. Yeah, they started writing in July of 2022. So I think they're pretty well through writing. So Season 2 will be out shortly. Really good show. If you have not seen it, go check it out. It's amazing, and you'll be very, very glad you did. So go check it out. It's on Apple TV Plus. In 2nd place, we have the show that bumped Severance out from the number 1 spot, or that helped bump it out from the number 1 spot, was House of the Dragon. This show was such a fucking... it was so good. It was so good. It was just, oh my god, week to week. Listen, I love Game of Thrones. I only just finished watching the show, recently. A few months before this came out. And, yeah, so I was pretty fresh going into it. I know a lot of people hadn't seen, any Game of Thrones content since the finale of Game of Thrones. But yeah, I was pretty fresh going into it off of Game of Thrones, and I loved it. I think I might even like it more than Game of Thrones. I don't know. I just thought it was so good. Rhaenyra is like one of my one of my favorite characters in fiction now, because she is just so badass and she is so compelling, and it was so good. You know, Olivia Cooker's Alicent was amazing, and yeah, the entire show was so good. It was so compelling. Viserys was amazing. Daemon was awesome. The settings, the visuals were incredible. The political, sort of ancient political aspects of it were really, really good and compelling. I loved this show. I can't wait for season 2. They better hurry up and make it, because I loved this show so much. All episodes are streaming now on HBO Max. Coming in at my number 1 spot is Stranger Things season 4. I know in my last top 10 series of 2022, in the middle of the year, I had Severance and Stranger Things switched around, with Severance at number 1 and Stranger Things at number 2. But I rewatched this as well as Severance, and nothing really compares to this. I mean, it was such an event, and the stuff that Stranger Things is the best thing Netflix has ever done, and season 4 kicked everything up a notch. The performances were that much better, just so much better than they were previously, and they were good previously, but the performances were amazing. The story, the plot, the story, the whatever of this season, the problem they have to solve this season is so much better. I loved Stranger Things in the previous 3 seasons, but everything was so much better this season, I feel like. And yeah, it was such an event. Everybody and their mother was watching this show, and it was just so good. The story was so compelling. Characters were emotionally resonant, and yeah, it was just so good. And I can't wait for season 5. I'm so sad that season 5 is the last one. But yeah, I'm not even going to tell you to check out Stranger Things, because I know you already have, because everybody has seen this show. I think it's still Netflix's most viewed show ever. So yeah, Stranger Things season 4 is the best series of 2022 for me. So they are my top 10 best series of 2022 of the entire year. Go check out all these series if you have not. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your list, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.